Are you very hungry though?
Do you not want to eat your shoe?
Friends are looking tasty though.
Surely they are edible.
No, 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 no!
Monster, monster, cooking the monster.
Cooking the Monster is proudly presented by Herbert, Matly, and Kistrix.
Monster, monster, cooking the monster tonight.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to
Cooking the Monster.
Tonight. We'll be concluding our series on goblinoids by talking about the bugbear.
The largest of the goblinoid species or subspecies. This is usually significantly larger than a goblin, and perhaps a head larger than a hobgoblin. Much broader, much higher content of fat, and much higher content of muscle than either of the previous two.
Which is really quite a bounty considering the lifestyle that bugbears lead. They tend to operate in smaller family groups and like to find other groups of what they deem as lesser species to bully around and lord over, which puts them in a very comfortable situation where they can relax a lot of the time. Bugbears are also very lazy intrinsically, so they tend to look for the easiest way to kill their game, which means they're under a lot less stress most of the time.
A lot of the time, surprisingly for such large creatures, they'll use ambush tactics, they'll sneak, they'll strike. They tend not to go for sustained combats. They tend not to have as much martial training.
They also won't target large creatures, anything that they think might be a risk, like a lot of standard predators. They don't have that martial discipline or that warrior's pride that hobgoblins do. So they will tend to go for targets that they know they can take out to be able to consume or enslave, to serve them in their day-to-day life, or to sell on to other species.
You'll often find bugbears around other creatures. You can be used as garnishes, as side dishes. They're much larger than most of the other goblinoids, so you'll get a larger selection of the excellent cuts of meat. You can sear that, steaks, goulashes, stews.
And the fat can be used to flavor the other creatures that you find in the vicinity of the bugbear as well. The main thing that you have to deal with bugbears when it comes to contaminants is the fur itself. Because they are lazy, they don't tend to clean themselves as thoroughly as, say, a hobgoblin would. As opposed to the hobgoblin that has fur and small patches on the backs of the arms and the chest, like a lot of humans do, the bugbear tends to be covered head to toe in fur. So you might want to take the skin off entirely, or cook them as a roast, as you would with a pig, so all the fine hairs burn down and the bristles get soft. That way it'll remove any of the lice, vermin, and other things. Again, we advise you to use prestidigitation to keep the carcass clean at all times, and that will alleviate a lot of the problems. It just depends whether or not you want the flavor from the hair to penetrate into the flesh itself, or whether or not you want to maintain the sweetness, relatively, of the bugbear carcass.
A bugbear is a predatory creature, so it is likely to have a more gamey taste than a herbivore. The richer meat will make it better for stews, for roasting, for even searing. A steak is quite good for a bugbear.
Even a broth can be broken down for a bugbear soup. But to just talk about that in a little bit more detail, we'll hand you over to Kistrix from the Wild Wood Apothecary.
As bugbears have a richer flavour, I've paired this one with milk vetch, also known as Astragalus membranicus. It is pungent, sweet, and cool. I think it's going to pair really well in a rich, creamy broth with the chaga mushroom. Also, as bugbears have poor personal hygiene, milk vetch is really good as it is an immunomodulating herb. My favourite way to prepare the bugbear is to slow cook it and prepare it with a rich gravy made of chaga mushroom and milk vetch.
Thank you for watching, and if you've got any recipes you'd like to share with us, please leave them in the comments below.
Monster, monster, cooking the monster tonight.